Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video I want to show you how I've designed and built the initial prototype for my first aid drone. Normally, if you want to build a drone, you would first define the technical requirements, and then you would decide which parts to use to meet the specifications. In this case, I made it vice versa. So I was looking for the parts first, and then I wanted to check if I can meet the requirements with the parts I found. All the parts you see here are left over from previous projects, and I wanted to use them because I wanted to keep the costs of this project as low as possible, probably €0. As you can see, I found a lot of parts. So I found 4 ESCs, I found the 4 motors I need, I found a flight controller, I even found a GPS module. The only limiting thing is that the batteries I found have just 2.2 ampere hours capacity, which is really limiting the flight duration and the range of the drone. But for this prototype, it's fine. To further save money, I decided also to build the frame of the drone just from wood. And then I started to design the parts in Inkscape so that I could use a laser cutter to cut them from plywood. When building a drone with such limited power, you need to find a compromise between weight and strength. So here I use a 4mm plywood, which should be good enough to give it some strength and even light enough to be able to run it with the 4 2260 motors, which provide around 900 grams of thrust each. So ending up with a total thrust of 3.6 kilograms. After having laser cut all the parts, it's now, well, time to build everything together. So I started with the top deck, for which I used 2 layers of plywood to give it some extra strength. And then I had to wait a little bit until the glue gets set and hardened out. And after that I started to build up the landing gear. And in the end, I added a little tower on top of the main deck, which I will use to mount the GPS and compass module a little bit away from the rest of the electronics, just to avoid some electronic interference, which could probably negatively influence the GPS and compass signals. After having built everything together, I decided to paint the frame, even if this adds a little extra weight, but to give it at least some little protection against humidity and water in the air. Well, now the time has come to build in the motors, all electronics, the flight controller, the GPS, the batteries, and everything you need to make the drone ready for the very first flight. Here's some closer look how I fed in all the electronics. You can see I use 2 batteries, and I also use 2 Maytag power distribution boards to be able to supply all the components with the required electrical power. Now, let's see how it flies. After all, I'm quite happy with the flight characteristics and also with the performance of the drone. The next step will be to build and demonstrate a payload release mechanism, and for this I will make an extra video. So from my side, that's it for the moment. Thank you for watching and goodbye.